Hello, teacher. Hello, students. In our previous lesson, we learned the debates on agricultural versus industrial development. Generally, agricultural strategy refers to a mix of policies and programs that influence both the pattern and the rate of growth of the agricultural sector. There are two most known agricultural strategies. These are the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy and the bimodal agricultural strategy. In today's lesson, we will discuss the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy. But before we discuss the strategy, I want you to do an activity in 2 minutes. Here is the activity. Give examples of programs that aim at improving the productivity of agricultural sector in Ethiopia. I hope you've done the exercise. The government of Ethiopia is working to improve the agriculture sector productivity through its various programs. The programs include the following: the Agricultural Extension Program, the Institution Building Program for Agricultural Research and Education, Rural Education, Farmers Training, Product and Input Marketing, and the Investment Program on Rural Road and Irrigation Infrastructures. Students, now let's discuss the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy. First, let me define what Uni-Modal agricultural strategy is. The Uni-Modal agricultural strategy is a strategy applied to transform agriculture by focusing on the development of small-scale peasant farms rather than large-scale or commercial agriculture. The Uni-Modal agricultural strategy aims to transform the sector through modernizing or intensifying small-scale peasant farms through intensive utilization of labor and land. Proponents or advocates of the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy forward justifications for putting emphasis on small-scale peasant farms, which implies Uni-Modal strategy. Here are their points of argument. First, due to low income, large number of smallholder farmers cannot afford to buy and use modern inputs and technology. Second, they claim labor and land are abundant and relatively cheap. Third, they believe it is possible to increase the productivity and food security of smallholder farmers progressively through creating different ways that can improve their capacity to use divisible, modern, innovative technologies. Students, what are the modern agricultural inputs used in Ethiopia to increase agricultural productivity of smallholder farmers? Have you identified some of the modern inputs? Very good. Let's now see some of the inputs together. Examples of the modern agricultural inputs are the modern agricultural inputs used in Ethiopia to increase agricultural productivity of smallholder farmers include new techniques of production, improved seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, and so on. Students, now let's discuss the characteristics of the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy. The following points define its characteristics. Its central aim is on the development and diffusion of highly divisible innovations. It is a pro-poor growth strategy. It increases small landholders' access to modern inputs. It focuses on the production of food crops to ensure food security. Students, now we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy. Before we discuss them together, I want you to brainstorm the advantages of this strategy with the students sitting next to you. You have 3 minutes. Students, did you mention some of the advantages? Let's see the major ones together. The advantages of the Uni-Modal strategy include the following. It makes possible the existence of a differentiated peasant group or class. It protects the peasants from being evicted from their land. It reduces poverty in the rural economy. It provides individual peasants with access to modern technologies. It reduces the level of migration from rural areas. Students, I hope you have now understood the advantages of the Uni-Modal strategy. Now I want you to identify the disadvantages of the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy individually. You have 3 minutes to do so. What are the disadvantages of a Uni-Modal agricultural strategy? Students, did you mention some of the disadvantages of the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy? Let's see the major ones together. The disadvantages of the Uni-Modal strategy include the following. It focuses only on food crops rather than on other marketable or high-value products for the market. It does not improve the shortage of knowledge regarding market information and weather conditions. Scattered settlement and land fragmentation hinders the development of infrastructures. The small size holdings cannot employ large-scale agricultural inputs, such as combiners and tractors. The continuous price rising of the agricultural inputs, such as urea and DAP, are not controlled. This limits its implementation. Students, in today's lesson, we have discussed the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy as a strategy that focuses on the development of smallholder farmers rather than large-scale commercial farms. We have also seen some of its characteristics, advantages, and limitations. In the next lesson, we will learn more about the Uni-Modal agricultural strategy and about the bimodal agricultural strategy. Until then, it is goodbye from me. Goodbye.